To break free from the autopilot mode in your life, it's essential to grasp what it truly means to function on autopilot. When our minds wander into thoughts, images, and memories of the past, or when we're preoccupied with what the future might hold, unaware of the time slipping away, it's like we're cruising on autopilot. We all perform tasks automatically to enhance efficiency in our daily lives. Over time, our brains have become adept at creating swift paths for routine tasks, forming the basis for our habits and routines. This capability is a boon, making our journey through life smoother. Take driving, for instance. You get in the car, leave home, and arrive at your destination almost unconsciously. When driving becomes a habit, you don't consciously think about pressing the clutch, checking the rearview mirror, or navigating traffic. It becomes such an automatic process that conscious thought is unnecessary. Consider other routine tasks like brushing your teeth or savoring your morning coffee. Effortless habits, seamlessly integrated into your life. While this automaticity streamlines our lives, complications arise when we slip into autopilot in other aspects, especially concerning our emotions. This leaves us susceptible to suffering and emotional turmoil. Being on autopilot is akin to being absent, detached from our surroundings, or immersed in worries with no apparent way out. It's as if we're caught in a loop, living our lives without progress, trapped in unchanging circumstances. Therefore, disengaging the autopilot is akin to waking up. It involves becoming attuned to our thought patterns, understanding our emotions, and gaining insight into human nature and how it operates. Some of the most sagacious thinkers on this subject, hailing from ancient times and perhaps spanning all of history, were known as the Stoics. The original Stoics were not only philosophers, but also practical psychologists. They provided solutions for everyday predicaments and offered advice on overcoming irrationalities, advice that remains relevant and beneficial in our modern lives. The ideas encapsulated by Stoicism embody some of the most refined and enduring wisdom. The Stoics, profound scholars of desire, fear, social status, and the myriad facets that have tormented humanity for millennia, continue to be relevant in our contemporary world. These philosophers, firmly grounded in reality, sought to liberate everyday people from their sufferings and illusions through the compelling force of their insights and teachings. The wisdom imparted by the Stoics remains as captivating and valuable today as it was when first articulated, perhaps even more so in our current need for such knowledge and moral strength. The follies, sorrows, and other challenges of our era may appear novel or unique to modern society, yet delving into the classical dialogues of the time reveals that these are enduring human experiences. This, in essence, echoes a fundamental Stoic tenet, that the narratives and predicaments of humanity persist, merely adopting new contexts. While much of today's discourse has drawn inspiration from Stoicism, the advantage lies in learning directly from the source, as we are doing in this video. I encourage your active participation to validate this truth. Share your experiences by commenting on how you've applied Stoicism in your daily life and the tangible changes you've observed. However, it's crucial to dispel a common misconception. Contemporary language often simplifies Stoicism as enduring suffering without complaint. Yet Stoicism is far more nuanced. Stoics may not indulge in frequent complaints, but for them, it's an inconsequential detail. A Stoic might willingly complain if it serves a purpose. The core of Stoicism lies in acting on what we can control, guided by reason, ethics, and logic. Within Stoicism, there exists no clear boundary between philosophy and psychology. Both serve as tools to shape ethics and character. This is why the Stoics advocated for understanding our own minds, an endeavor that enhances awareness of our flawed judgments, fostering increased perceptiveness, self-awareness, and a diminished inclination toward foolishness. Stoicism, to some extent, delves into similar inquiries about the art of living as many religions do and occasionally arrives at parallel conclusions, but with the unique approach of relying solely on observation and reason. In essence, when Stoics discuss matters as presented here, they may occasionally reach the same conclusions as adherents of other philosophical or spiritual traditions. but they've taken a different path up the mountain. It's a journey marked by logic, reflection, and an understanding of humanity. And we can tap into the wisdom of Stoics to navigate our own lives and contemplate our thoughts. Stoicism is not a creed or theology. It's valuable advice, a tool for psychological hygiene, a form of mental well-being. So let's draw from the insights of prominent Stoics like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus to provide us with a guide on how to live and think consciously in 7 lessons. Before we move forward, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. This is crucial for sharing the invaluable tool of Stoicism with everyone aiming to transform and elevate their lives. 1. Embrace the power of your mind. In the hustle and bustle of life, we often find ourselves reacting automatically to the events and situations unfolding around us, almost as if our responses were hardwired into the circumstances. However, the Stoics introduce a profound truth into this equation. Our reactions aren't directly triggered by events themselves, but rather by our own judgments and opinions about those events. What's intriguing is that many times we operate in this automatic mode without even realizing it. Consider our beliefs and critical judgments as a pair of sunglasses. We've become so accustomed to wearing them all the time that we see the world through their tinted lens without a conscious thought. Stoicism, in essence, encourages us to remove these metaphorical sunglasses. These lenses represent our beliefs, fears, and judgments. The pivotal lesson is to become consciously aware of our automatic beliefs and judgments, recognizing the irrationality within them, and then deliberately choosing how to respond. This concept lies at the core of Stoic philosophy. Imagine our beliefs and judgments as the furnishings of our mental space. If fear is likened to a malfunctioning refrigerator and judgment to a sofa, why hold on to something old and outdated when we can replace it with something new? As the masters of our mental home, we have the authority to swap out these old pieces for newer, more fitting ones. This way we can transform what we think and believe, gaining insight into our beliefs and the governing principles of our automatic judgments and perceptions. Stoics assert that our reactions are intricately tied to the thoughts we construct and the beliefs we uphold, regardless of how deeply ingrained they may be. They prompt us to remember that, as the owners of these beliefs and thoughts, we wield the power to reshape them. In the journey of self-awareness, Stoicism invites us to take responsibility for our mental landscape. The world, as we experience it, is not merely an external reality, but a construction shaped by our interpretations. Stoicism encourages us to question our beliefs consciously, transcending automatic responses and gaining the ability to intentionally choose how we perceive the world. By doing so, we shift the responsibility for crafting our experience from the external world to our capacity to scrutinize and adjust the mental frameworks shaping our understanding of life. So, seize the reins of your thoughts and reactions to navigate the tapestry of your life consciously. 2. Release the grip on external forces. At the heart of Stoicism, a profound guide to psychological well-being emerges, one that urges us to channel our emotional and mental energies solely toward what lies within our immediate control. We're advised to invest our well-being in the realm of the controllable, letting go of attachments to the uncontrollable. Events, opinions, and the actions of others, often beyond our influence, fall into this latter category. Stoicism considers investing emotional energy in these areas as both futile and potentially harmful. Viewed through the Stoic lens, elements such as money, fame, or misfortunes are categorized as external, inviting a detached perspective. The Stoic philosophy encourages us to appreciate what we have without excessive attachment. It acknowledges that being rich is preferable to being poor, and having no problems is better than grappling with them. Yet, this preference should never evolve into a self-imposed form of servitude. Excessive attachment to external factors, be it fears, desires, money, or people, promises only anxiety and a peculiar form of self-inflicted slavery. In essence, Stoic wisdom dissuades us from fixating on what lies beyond our control, presenting it as a strategic move toward achieving tranquility. Instead, the philosophy redirects our focus to what we can indeed control, our judgments and actions. In the grand scheme of things, we often cling to matters beyond our control, resulting in suffering, anxiety, and frustration. Simultaneously, we tend to overlook the aspects of our thinking that we can control, facets that, if managed more adeptly, could usher in a sense of peace. Stoicism prompts us to recognize these detrimental behavioral patterns and to embrace change and evolution. The ultimate objective is to reverse this pattern, cultivating a more balanced and serene mindset, emphasizing mastery over our judgments and actions. This Stoic approach seeks to foster inner peace and resilience in the face of life's uncertainties, successes, and challenges. When we cease futile attempts to control external factors, be it the actions of others, our circumstances, or even our thoughts, we free up energy. Energy that could be channeled into improving our minds, fortifying our resilience, and mastering the art of emotional control. For Stoics, the crux lies in acknowledging that the only things within our control are our thoughts and how we choose to react to life's unfolding events. 3. Shifting perspectives for transformation. The Stoics, recognizing the profound impact of thoughts and judgments on our experience, devised strategies to reshape them. They employed two distinct strategies: analytical and intuitive. Analytical. The analytical approach involves crafting rational arguments based on logic and evidence, unveiling the futility of material desires and fears. It's akin to a critical analysis that dismantles harmful ideas we often cling to. This method of persuasion leans on logic and critical analysis to demystify detrimental concepts that frequently influence our perceptions. Intuitive. On the other hand, the intuitive method focuses on altering perspectives. It entails looking at life from diverse angles, as if observing from a distance. Even without direct rational arguments, this shift in perspective elicits different reactions, akin to the impact of analytical reasoning. It's a persuasion through imagery and alternative viewpoints. Stoics actively engage in seeing life unconventionally, liberating themselves from the constraints of automatic perspectives. This practice is instrumental in dismantling misguided judgments that often shape our lives. The Stoic pursuit involves adopting a different lens to break free from restricted perspectives. This involves comparing things on a global scale or over time, imagining how they would appear from a distance, or observing their actions as if they were external spectators. Such practices equip Stoics with the skills to perceive life from angles that foster humility and virtue, unraveling misguided judgments that frequently impact us. Stoics employ these techniques not merely to conquer fears, but also to contemplate death, not in a morbid or melancholic way. While conventional reflections on death often involve denial, Stoics embrace mortality as a valuable source of inspiration. Being conscious of the fact that existenza has an endpoint illuminate his daily life in a renewed and ennobling manner. Similarly, contemplating the vastness of the universe or time yields a similar effect. All these facets contribute to the Stoic quest for wisdom, where consciously adjusting our perspective stands as a paramount practice. 4. Understand your nature. The Stoics delve deep into the intimate aspects of life: desires, fears, emotions, and vanities, contending that these states result from our thoughts, often rooted in inaccurate judgments. Stoicism offers remedies aligned with the notion of reacting not to things themselves, but to our judgments about them. These judgments are often considered flawed or fictional, prompting the Stoics to untangle these patterns and suggest more effective ways of thinking and analyzing before responding. This analytical approach is like using a tool to gauge why we think and act the way we do. Sometimes we internalize beliefs and adopt habits without much thought, reproducing them in our lives without any real sense, which can ultimately limit us or make us unhappy. Stoicism emphasizes the need to examine our feelings, encouraging us to think more consciously about how our minds operate and freeing us from traps and harmful mental patterns that we often engage in unconsciously. Consider Ethan case. As a child, he was labeled as slow and sluggish because he took a bit longer to complete daily tasks and consistently finished last in his class. Even as an adult with the ability not to be slow, he still perceives and lives life as if he were slow. No one else needs to consider him slow. He has already classified himself based on a belief he has carried since childhood. The Stoics argue that we often unconsciously adopt beliefs influenced by culture and personal experiences. The proposition is that by understanding these patterns, we can indeed alter our reactions and habits, achieving a more balanced and wise mindset. Now, consider Michael, who always heard his father say that certain actions were bad, illusory, and would lead people to lose money. Even as an adult with thriving finances, he couldn't bring himself to invest his money. Every time he heard this advice, he was terrified, thinking he would be deceived and misled. His pattern of Michael is not his own. It was an experience from his father, who lived in a different time with a different economic landscape, where financial education wasn't as accessible as it is today. The result of this negative experience could be due to various factors. However, if Michael maintains this pattern, inherited from a negative experience of his father, it completely limits the management of his financial life. What the Stoics teach us is to carefully examine the nature of our emotions and judgments. By realizing when they are detached from reality, we practice change and autonomy in all areas of our lives. Reflecting on the cases of Ethan and Michael, what belief do you hold in your life that makes no sense? And, armed with this knowledge, do you commit to examining it carefully? 5. Reality as our canvas. The Stoics view reality as the canvas of life. They approach challenges uniquely, not seeking pain, but cultivating a mindset that remains resilient in the face of difficulties and can transform them into opportunities. Dealing with the unwanted is inevitable in life, and Stoics believe that from these unwelcome situations emerge great achievements and other positive outcomes we desire. You cannot control what happens to you. You cannot escape or avoid problems or adversities in your life. Everyone at every level encounters challenges, whether poor or rich. Therefore, practicing Stoicism means using imagination when facing unwelcome events and turning them into materials to build something positive. It's as if the Stoic takes everything that happens and shapes it into something useful. Undoubtedly, a resource to fortify your character and mental resilience. What were the challenging moments in your life that you transformed into valuable learning experiences, emerging even stronger afterward? Share your experiences in the comments of this video. 6. Lifelong learning. Stoicism is a philosophy of action, signifying that everything we learn we can put into practice in our lives. Stoicism isn't just for admiring its wisdom and knowledge, but for active application. Committing to applying Stoicism is a challenging journey because many of our judgments, fears, and desires are deeply ingrained and stubborn, difficult to alter or ignore. These patterns are continually reinforced by our environment and societal conventions. Taming the mind through reason demands a commitment akin to disciplines like martial arts or others that require physical effort. However, as a reward, Stoicism promises happiness, mental clarity, and emotional strength. Stoicism also provides a profound affirmative perspective on the meaning of life, the pursuit of virtue. Rather than living merely to satisfy desires, Stoics actively strive to live virtuously. Living virtuously means embracing reason. And the Stoics considered reason an appeal to honesty, kindness, humility, and moral ethics. 7. Stoicism is a journey, not a destination. It's more than reaching a final point. It's about navigating each day, steering our actions, thoughts, and emotions, rather than being confined to a predetermined fate. Within this philosophy, we uncover not just a set of principles, but an ongoing path of self-discovery and growth. Stoicism becomes the guiding compass for our ongoing journey, not merely the end point. Philosophy serves as a mentor, aiding us in evolving as individuals, mentally and morally, expanding our capabilities and understanding. Stoicism begins with the notion that our feelings about the world, our reactions, fears, desires, are not a direct result of the world itself. Instead, they're shaped by what the Stoics term as our judgments, our opinions, and perceptions about things. Essentially, Stoic philosophy encourages us to grasp that our interpretation of the world plays a pivotal role in shaping our experience and, consequently, the overall quality of our lives. In essence, philosophy extends an invitation to explore and delve into aspects of our minds that often get overlooked amidst the hustle of daily life. We break away from autopilot mode when we fully immerse ourselves in life. In simpler terms, we ditch the routine of our actions when we are genuinely present and engaged in the current moment. This conscious act of connecting with life serves as a way to liberate ourselves from automatic habits and savor each moment more profoundly. A special thanks to everyone who shared their city in the last video. It was an incredible opportunity to learn more about each one of you. And if you've made it this far, drop a gratitude in the comments acknowledging your journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you won't miss any content, and give this video a thumbs up. It's a simple gesture, yet immensely valuable to us. Thank you for your time.